You were on President Trump's Small Business Administration, and we have these numbers out now where small businesses are raising prices worse than any time since 1981. Why is that happening?
Well, if you look at it, there are a lot of reasons for that. I think we have to look at what's happened with economic policies that certainly President Biden and his administration have put in place. They're talking about raising taxes, which I think would just destroy a lot of the good work that the Trump administration did. We had the lowest unemployment. Blacks and Hispanics had the lowest unemployment ever. Women for unemployment was growing much. Those numbers were really coming down as well. And for decades, the best numbers for women. And then now what's happened? We've had so much government subsidy with unemployment insurance that small businesses are having difficult time hiring workers because they make more money by staying at home. We hope that those policies are going to soon end. But also inflation that we now see in the marketplace is causing the cost of goods to be higher. So therefore, small businesses that are purchasing goods for their companies to produce, to manufacture, to distribute, restaurants who want to, they would love to keep prices the same, but it's costing them more and more for their food. I mean, when taxes go up, when the price of fuel goes up, all of those costs get passed on to consumers. So small businesses, therefore, are having to raise their prices because it's costing them a lot more to provide their goods and services for the general marketplace. So when you have a combination of not being able to hire because people can stay at home. As a matter of fact, I was just yesterday at my hairdresser, and I asked him, I said, geez, it looks as though, you've got good customer clientele is returning. He said, I'm having the toughest time hiring people. He said, people will come in for interviews and I'll offer them the job on the spot. They'll tell me they'll get back to me. He said, and then I don't hear from them. And he said, so we're really short staffed. A lot of people are working, really hard, but my business could grow more if I could hire the people to come in to provide this service that I provide as a hairdresser. So it's real out there. You look at the construction industry, they can't get qualified workers. And other industries like that are just having a really difficult time filling the spots. We don't have a problem of there aren't enough jobs. There are many more jobs now than we have people to fulfill those jobs.
Linda, why inflation? We're seeing inflation. People are feeling inflation, but it gets complicated when you get into economics like that. And obviously, you are somebody who understands this stuff. Why do we have inflation?
Well, I'm clearly not an economist, and I would leave it up to the economist to explain that better than I certainly could. But when you flood the market and put too much money into the marketplace, for instance, putting more unemployment insurance money into the marketplace where people don't go to work to earn that money and they're staying at home, but there's just more and more money coming in, you just have more money than you do the requirements for those goods and services. So that inflation number does continue then to go up. And we just need to have our free market enterprise, driving our economy. And certainly, not the government bureaucracies of flooding the market with too much money.
How do we shrink government, Linda? Because you're right. I mean, the bureaucracies have a say-so in this and a say-so in that, and everything's regulated to death. But, it's pretty much impossible to get rid of any one of these scummy agencies. Can we, though?
Well, I think elections do have consequences, Jesse. We hear that all the time, and it's almost become an expression that everybody goes, oh, yeah, well, elections have consequences. But they really do have consequences because it is the policies that the administrations put forth that make a difference in how the government grows. I mean, under the Trump administrations, regulations were taken away. Trump's edict, certainly to us as cabinet members, was for every new regulation that you put in place, you have to take away two. And it wound up to be 5 or 6 that were taken away for each new one that was put in place. That had a real positive impact, especially on small businesses. So when there are policies in place that give the government too much control and too much power, and the power is not in the hands of the people, who elect the government. I mean, I'll just step aside for one political moment. If you look at the Texas legislators who have come to Washington and who are not fulfilling the jobs that they were hired to do by the people in Texas, that is an effect of, elections having consequences.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the first on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me. Thanks.